Okay, beloveds, let's see what messages we have for today. As always, I'm just tuning in, setting the intention that this message is going to find the person that needs to hear it. This message is going to be that divine communication that is the answer to the question that the viewer has been asking. I set the intention that they will have that massive aha moment and feel the loving support of the universe just pour over them as I act as a transmitter and a channel for these communications to come through on their behalf. And I open myself up to serve the collective in this way. All right, let me tune in here. I don't know what is going on with my throat chakra ever since this morning I woke up, and I've kind of been in this state of opening, so I apologize. I know it's gross, but you know, it's just where we are. Okay, so let me Okay. All right, let's see what we're working with today. All right. Oftentimes I ask if this is for the viewer or about their other person. I usually just kind of get some basic information about the person. Starting similar vibes with yesterday's reading. Okay. This is so funny. I mean, really similar energy. Okay. Wow. Literally all pentacles came out. So this definitely has to do with stuff that's happening in the 3D. There are all women. So we're looking at earth signs. Those that have a lot of earth energy, I would look maybe for you, your 7th house is ruled by Taurus. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so that would be something. 7th house is like relationships, things like that, and Taurus is an earth sign, or maybe your 7th house is ruled by an earth sign, if that connects you with this. So whoever we're dealing with here, they're making some progress. I do feel like this is for, I'm getting like, this is for the feminine today. Like, this isn't so much about the other person, unless we have masculines who are watching this, who are in separation from a feminine. So this is like the feminine energy. I'm getting confirmation like in my body that that is the case. So what I'm getting is that the feminines they're starting to do the work. They're really starting to kind of tune in, especially for this collective group. They're starting to recognize that a big role for them right now is to find that security within themselves. I talk about this a lot, and I repeat myself a lot because obviously different people watch different things, etc., etc. So when we're dealing with the runners, okay, the runners are the ones who are working to heal their warrior's wound, the masculine wounding of I am a failure, okay, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I'm not qualified enough. So they're running from that fear of failure. For those that are the chasers, That is the witch's wound energy. That is the abandonment and betrayal. Okay. So what is happening right now is this is telling me that for this soul group, this collective group that we're reading for today, these are the feminines who are doing the work to heal their witch's wound, to heal that fear of abandonment, and to create a sense of security within themselves. Huzzah. That's exciting. Really, really good. Yeah, they're putting in the work. They're starting to at least realize that this is what they need to do. I've seen this a lot too. People showing up in my like DMs on Instagram are, it's like a lot of the same energy that they're saying, you know, they're finally realizing that they need to stop kind of humoring their masculines because it's keeping them from doing the work. And so this is something that is going to help too for those who are trying to figure out if they're a mirror soul or a twin flame. Those that are in the mirror soul group, that is a more advanced level of the twin flame program. And there's not really going to be that same kind of, I don't like to use this word, but like immaturity, because those souls are older. And there's kind of this more understanding of like, we are aware that we need to be in separation right now. So there's not the same thing that the masculine is doing where it's like, please make me feel better, right? I just shared a post yesterday, earlier today, over the last, 12, 24 hours about how chasing is a lot more than what people realize. It's about like trying to pursue that person, but it's also like still like peering in on them, like looking at their social media, trying to see what they're up to, so trying to see where they are. And anytime we're in that energy, we're running from ourselves. So it's that concept of like, we need to start sitting with our own discomfort, right? We need to sit with it. This is what I tell my one-on-one clients a lot. We need to sit with it and lean in, okay? So this group here is, it looks like they're starting to do that. They're starting to feel, the reason I know this, like Page of Pentacles, I have an 8 of Pentacles, I'm working on myself. I'm putting work in, I'm learning mastery of something. Page of Pentacles is like they're creating, they're manifesting some type of new opportunity. This typically refers to finances, but that's not, that's like so like small perspective. What this is forming that sense of security, right, in themselves, feeling that sense of groundedness, safety, like root chakra work, feeling secure, grounded. And then with the reverse 9 of Pentacles, they're starting to see their worth, okay? They're starting to recognize this, okay? I want to see, I've already got feelings of what's coming up next, but so I'm like, why do I use the cards? Because people like them, that's why, honestly. Okay. This is good. Good job. Good job, feminines. Okay. So that work, that self-work, right? This is what's going to help create, I've had the World card here. So anytime I get the World card, I always think about like the ring, right? And people talk about like, why do we give rings for like marriage and things like that? It's because it's never ending, right? It has no beginning, no end. So there's like a cycle here that's kind of wrapping up. And it's funny because with this, this card in particular, there's this like dude, he's like hiding behind the tree. He's like waiting. This is the vibe I get from this. It's like that version of the masculine is there, but there needs to be more of this like nurturing energy. Like we need to nurture ourselves to call up that masculine within us, the divine masculine within us, so that we can become more of a vibrational match to the appropriate level of masculine energy we're wanting to experience in our reality. Okay, so kind of by like doing the work, healing our own wounding with the masculine, embracing our own beautiful divine masculine energy within us, we're creating a sense of harmony within that, again, like the circle, and that's going to allow us to become that match for that energy and our counterpart to help call that up. Women are the nurturers, okay? The divine feminine energy is the medicine. This is the medicine to heal both divine feminine and divine masculines, bringing them into that energy. It's that nurturing essence. And so this tree, even though it's a masculine, that's again like the nurturing energy, right? But yet he's also a tree, so he's grounded. So it's like this beautiful synergy, okay, in that card. I'm like, this card's talking to me a lot. So much to say. I could probably even go on, but I try to keep these relatively timely, but for those that know me, I have trouble with that. So with this Page of Pentacles, with the feminine deciding, you know what, I'm going to step into this power, I'm going to find this level of security within myself. This has happened because of a separation. All right, I have Four of Wands in reverse. That is the twin flame card. So this is twin flame separations. And it's like this specific group that we're looking at, they've really like stepped up. It's like they've stepped up to the plate and recognized like, okay, like I see what's happening here. I see that I'm not helping my masculine by like hand holding. And again, in like the mirror soul connection, the masculine is probably not going to ask this, or the feminine, depending on who ran, who needed the separation, we'll say that. There's not that same thing. Like they clearly know like this is not working. We need to separate for a while, and there's not going to be that attachment like that. But if you're in that level where there was that kind of back and forth trying, like, I know this isn't healthy, but let's still try, like that is twin flame. That's not the upgraded mirror soul. Just to help people know so they can figure out kind of which one they are. Yeah, so because of this breakdown, because of this separation, this is allowing the feminine to like step up into her power. Like she's doing the work. She's stepping up into that. To move into this space of like finding her self-worth. She's really going into this like her own like transformative energy. I mean, she's stepping up, she's moving through. I have the Six of Swords in reverse, so it's like that transition card, right? It's like moving from stormy waters into more calm waters. So it's like she's doing her own work within herself. This is great. For those that this is for today, like awesome. Good job. I will say, this is why it's helpful for so many people to be out there sharing themselves and sharing their gifts and sharing these messages, because there are so many different soul groups. So I'm only going to be able to read for my soul group, okay? So that's going to call in people that are on a similar path to my own. So just, if my messages don't resonate, then it's just because we're in a different soul group, and you need to find someone who you're feeling that connection with and you're having that moment of like, oh my gosh, yes. Maybe just like watching me, I don't know. All right. So with this feminine and the work that she's doing, she's moving into the understanding of she needs to do her own inner work. She needs to step into her own power. How through that can she still support her divine counterpart? So how can this feminine still support her divine counterpart, but like in the higher dimensions. If there's something, if they're wanting to still be able to be in a nurturing energy, they want to support this masculine, but they know that it's just not for them right now. Like they can't be physically in their presence. Okay, how can they support? This is interesting. Okay. All reverse. This is fascinating. Okay, so I mean, honestly, what I'm getting from this is, I want to word this in the right way. What I get from this, the immediate vibe is, it's like you're being called into like full goddess mode. Like stepping up, claiming your power, showing up boldly. This is going to trigger your counterpart, okay? Like you showing up like this, you stepping into this, like it is going to flip their world upside down. They are going to feel jealous. They're going to feel very insecure. They're going to feel like you moved on, which, let's be real, most of us won't and haven't, because we know like what is going on with the connection and we understand, but they're going to feel that way because in a part of them, they feel like you should, okay? They feel like they're not good enough. So they think, of course, you know, of course she would, right? Of course this feminine would move on. But this is, yeah, this is the energy that I get. It's like stepping just fully into this energy. Like allowing yourself to really like focus on your sense of direction. Where are you going? What is my purpose? What am I being called into? And like 100% focus on that. Like honestly, that's the best thing that you can do for your counterpart at this time, because like I have the hangman here, but in reverse. So it's like they're hanging, but they're right side up. So like this is telling me, this is what I said, it's like it's gonna flip their world upside down. It's funny because I see that there's like a pentacle symbol on this, and we had all those pentacles, right? So it's almost like they need this moment of like feeling that way, like being like very, they get shook, right? They're getting really like shaken up. It's like they need this like wake up call to recognize. I think a lot of in these situations, what I'm getting is a lot of these situations, like the masculine was trying to blame the feminine for what was happening in the connection or the problems, trying to say that it was like them, that their traumas were still, you know, the problem, or that they were not able to be supportive enough or understanding enough or give them enough. Like maybe you were dealing with someone who wanted to not be monogamous, and they were like, well, you're just not understanding, right? Or maybe someone who was super in their trauma, and they were being like very aggressive when they would be triggered, and they were saying that you weren't able to like be there for them enough because their behavior was so triggering for you, when they would get so activated. And so it was like, whatever the situation was, it's like it was your fault is what they were trying to kind of make it seem. And so seeing you like stepping into your full power and like doing your glow up, it's I don't want to curse, but it's effing with them. It's getting to them. We'll say that. All right, let me tune in. I want to see like what is going on with this person's counterpart, the masculine energy. What's going on with this person's counterpart? How are they feeling? They're watching the feminine. Okay, tell me how, like exactly how they're feeling right now. Watching their feminine counterpart. She's stepping into her power. She's reclaiming her power. She's learning and knowing her worth. How is the masculine? I feel like this card right here. How is the masculine feeling? Okay. Okay. This isn't bad. This is actually not too bad. Okay. So it's like I said, it shook them up, but it's been a wake up call, and I feel like they're leaning into this pretty well. From what I'm seeing with this Four of Swords, saying like they're taking that moment to kind of take a step back, a little respite, kind of regathering themselves. They're recognizing that they saw you in the wrong light. I have the Queen of Pentacles, but she's reversed. So like they're recognizing, they're starting to recognize that this is you. Like they're seeing this. So there's kind of been a revelation that's happened here with them. Like stepping into this moment where they're like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like it's easy to lie to yourself, right? When you don't want to have to like really do that inward work and really have to look inward, or you can be like, oh, it's their problem, it's their fault, it's them. But then when that separation happens and that feminine is like, okay, I'm leaning into this. I'm going to do the work. Like I'm not going to chase. I'm not going to go into that energy. Like I'm going to fully lean in. It's kind of like they had to come to this moment where it's like, how do you argue with that? Right? So it's like trying to convince, oh, it's on them. So this is why I'm justified in running, or abandoning, right? Failing, like almost like they already knew that they needed to, but they were trying to justify it. Because this is going to be very common, okay? This is going to be very common in a twin flame connection for the masculine to abandon the feminine, because it has to activate that abandonment wound. So it's like, it's normal. This is like a part of it where something happens and they get that fear, right? I'm going to fail. And so they run. And then the feminine's abandonment gets activated. And this is like where they have to come to terms with even the running. This is what creates like a shame spiral here, because the running was failure, right? Like, I'm afraid I'm going to fail, so I'm running, and then they get like calmed down a little bit, right? And then they have to look back and they're like, I abandoned her. I left. I ran. And now I see that like she really wasn't the problem, because she's doing her stuff. She's like stepping into this, like she was ready, and I failed, right? So it's like they're having to come to terms with this. This is not an easy thing, because they're seeing it. Like they are seeing it. They've taken that step back. They're seeing who you are, that you are putting in the work, that you're invested in that. And then the last one here for this is the Page of Pentacles, which was in the first fold, right? That was like who you're stepping into. So you're manifesting like a new beginning for yourself, especially when it comes to like finances, when it comes to 3D physical support. Okay, so it might not be like money exactly, but it's some type of sense of security. Okay, so it could just be even within yourself that you are becoming more secure. Maybe you were someone who really was in that abandonment fear, right? Abandonment energy, and it was not, you know, not good. And now you're doing this work and you are being able to stand in this power of like, I'm creating my own security so that I feel secure in myself. So that regardless of whatever this other person does, whether they come back, whether they don't, it's irrelevant, right? Because I've done the work and I'm okay either way, right? I'll do one more for this and then I'll move into the extended. But I want to know, what is the masculine's like headspace right now? What is their headspace in this situation? They've been watching the feminine. They've seen her stepping into that power. They're recognizing it. But how is that making them feel? How are they feeling about themselves? Okay, there we go. Thank you. How are they feeling about themselves? So I start asking certain questions, and then like my spirit team, they help kind of like me clarify. So I talk to them sometimes. You're like, what is she doing? I'm like, thank you. Great. All right. How are they feeling about themselves? How do they feel about themselves? Oh, I had it. How do they feel about themselves? Oh. Okay. Oh, goodness. Yeah. I knew that card was coming. I knew it was coming. Okay. Interesting. I need to clarify that one. Okay. So the Knight of Wands, okay? This is reversed. So anytime like the Page, Knight, Queen, or King of Wands are in reverse, this tells me that this person is still in their archetypal wounding. So Witch's wound, Warrior's wound, they are still in that. So with this specific energy, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of frustration. It's like they are still in the wounded energy. Three of Swords, I knew that was coming. They are heartbroken. They're very heartbroken over this. But they're frustrated. It's like they want to come forward. They do see themselves like King of Pentacles. It's like they see themselves as this this provider, this like true like masculine man. They see themselves like that, but it's like they did not show up that way. So again, I say this, like they were not in integrity with themselves. I think they came into this situation very impulsively, and unfortunately, when we're in this energy again, we think of like knight in shining armor. It's like they want to charge in there, right? But a lot of the knights, like they're very premature, okay? So it's like this, they were excited. They wanted things to happen. They wanted you. They wanted this, but they came in really hot. I mean, Wands is fire. Like it was like hot and heavy, fast. Like coming in hot, you know, like really coming in here. But unfortunately, I feel like you were probably, I'm going to clarify this because I'm feeling like you were probably still, you had been doing work, but I feel like you probably still had some stuff that still needed to be healed, right? I mean, that's usually what happens when we have the first connection. So there's probably some trauma there that I'm laughing because it's just clarifying that one. That got activated, right? And probably if things had been able to go a little slower, if we had been able to take the time to develop the friendship, the trust, the stability, those things probably would not have gotten as triggered and activated as they did, right? Which probably would have allowed for even like a friendship to have been maintained during this, when whatever kind of came up, all of these things, like it would have, I don't know, like I feel like there was just a lot of pressure. Like I felt like there was a lot of pressure, like a lot of pressure, and it was really triggering. Like it was very activating. So it was like, geez, like chill out. I want this too, but like, calm the F down, you know, like let's look at the realistic side of things. Yeah. So with this Knight of Wands, it's being clarified with the Ace of Pentacles again in reverse. So it's like, it was a lost opportunity, right? It was like, because I was too hasty, I wasn't really looking at the full end game. I just wanted this now. So somebody who is pretty impulsive, I just want this now. I want it now. So probably an overactive archetype that you're dealing with, snake, peacock, or dragon. I want this now. And because of that, there wasn't that like, you know, I wonder what she's been through. I wonder what she needs. I wonder what, like, there just wasn't this like thinking through of it. It was just thinking like, I found what I want and I want it now. And it's kind of like, I used this example in one of the, in a twin flame reading I did yesterday for someone. And it was like, what I was seeing was like a scared cat, right? And that we find like somewhere, and it's like kind of been backed into a corner, and we're trying to help it. We want the kitty, right? It's like, oh my gosh, this kitty's so cute. Or like kids with them where they're like, kitty, and the cat's like, oh my God. You know, it's just like, versus if you would just sit, if you would just sit there and like maybe get some treats, show like, here kitty, like I'm safe, it's okay. Like kitty will come up to you eventually, right? And sit in your lap, and you can pet and hold and build this relationship of trust and show kitty that you just want to love it. But what I feel like happened with this situation from the masculine is it was like, kitty, right? And the cat's like, like freaking out. It just got terrified, even though it was probably a really good cat, very sweet, very loving kitty cat. But it's like, it was just like, like too much. Like, it was too much. This is really the vibe I get from this. The heartbreak, we've got Ace of Wands. So they are hoping for a new beginning. Okay. They're hoping that things can transpire. The concern I have here though is like, I got King of Wands with King of Pentacles. And so Wands again are very fiery. This is just the concern that they're gonna burn hot again. So I feel like this card is definitely telling me that there's passion here. There is a passionate connection. There's desire there. But hopefully, I mean, we're moving out of the Knight of Wands into the King of Wands. So that obviously that's more mature. There's a level of maturity that's coming into this. Okay. So yeah, they're heartbroken, but they're hopeful. They know that they missed an opportunity. I think that they figured out that they came in a little bit too hot and heavy and did not give the feminine the opportunity to, what I'm seeing is like a flower, you know, the flower to bloom, like in their hands. It was kind of like they just expected them to be open. And it was like, well, honey, like, you have to cultivate this, right? We have to cultivate an environment for the flower to bloom, and not just expect that you're going to walk in and it's already going to be open, or since it's not, you can just open it. That's just not how that goes. So someone, definitely overactive archetype, because there's that impatience, and not so much nurturing energy of like being gentle with the feminine to cultivate a space, an environment for her to feel safe to bloom. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna stop this here, and then I'll hop on the extended. I want to figure out, I want to ask, like, what lessons have they learned from this? Obviously, I know they want to come forward with this Ace of Wands. They want a new beginning. I want to know, like, what their plans are for that. What are they planning? Is that going to be soon? Do they have stuff going on that they still need to work on? So I want to know what they're planning with this coming forward. And then whatever other things come up, probably some love messages. What would they tell you right now? Yeah, you guys know I just keep on going and going. So, okay. For those that catch this on YouTube, check in the comments, not in the comments, in the description, for all the support tools you need if you want to book your own reading. If you need access to this private group where I record them live and you can access the extended readings, the link to access that is down there. I forget the other things. So I need to write them down and like just have them so I can like read it. And then also, if you want to learn about your archetype, if you want to learn your archetype, and start learning how to heal that, because that's a very important part of being able to be in union. Because again, we have to heal that abandonment wound. We have to heal that wound that's connected to failure for the warrior's wound. So I have information there to take the free quiz to learn more about your archetype and to get some strategies to start working through that. Okay, yeah, so that's that. I will see you all soon. And then for those who are live with me, bear with me and I'll hop back on for the extended.